Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about Zulunation. And Zulunation is located in the eastern part of South Africa. And Zulu is a tribe in South Africa. It's an African tribe. And the word Zulu literally means the heavens. And then the word Zulu further comes from Amazulu. And Amazulu means from the heavens. Okay? But for the longest time, Zulu culture did not exist in South Africa. And the Zulu tribe was very, very small. Let me explain. Okay, in the northern part of the eastern area of South Africa, in the northeastern part, you had the Ndwandwe tribe. And then in the southeastern part, you had the Mathitwa tribe. And then in between those two warring tribes was a Zulu tribe, but it only numbered about 400 Zulu warriors, and it was very small, and they were constantly in the middle of the fighting between the Ndwandwe and the Mathitwa tribe. Okay? Well, Shaka Zulu was a leader of the Zulu that turned the tide in that area, and he made the Zulu tribe the dominant tribe in that area, and he made the Zulu culture the dominant culture in the area. But first, Shaka Zulu was banished from the Zulu kingdom because he was the illegitimate son of the Zulu king. So the Zulu king wanted to cover up his extramarital affair and banished Shaka Zulu and his mother from the Zulu tribe. Well, so they ended up with the Mathitwa tribe warring with the Ndwandwe tribe. Well, after the Zulu king died, Shaka Zulu came back and he took power. Okay? And he took power and he said, I'm king of the Zulu tribe. And there were only 400 Zulu warriors at the time, but then Shaka Zulu expanded it to 40,000 warriors. Okay? In a very short amount of time. And how he expanded the amount of warriors was when the kids reached a certain age, usually it was between 12 and 14, they were turned over basically to Shaka Zulu and to all the military leaders in the Zulu tribe. And they had complete hold of them, and they educated them, they trained them, they taught them how to hunt, they taught them how to use weapons, they taught them how to fight. And then Shaka Zulu, one of the first weapons he used to teach people how to fight was the Isakila. Okay, and the Isakila was used for hunting, and it was a stick that was used for hunting, and that stick could break a lot of the animal's bones, could crack the animal's ribs, and then when it cracked the ribs, it could hit the heart so hard the animal's heart would stop. And the Isakila was used, and it was used in the villages as well. The Zulus would, and the Zulu trainers and the instructors would roll pumpkins, and the objective of the trainees was to hit the pumpkin with the Isakila stick. Okay, that's one of the things they did. Also, Shaka Zulu dared the people he was training to go out to the wilderness to go hunt for animals. A lot of times without a stick, sometimes with the Isakila, and to use the Isakila properly. Which throwing it at a rolling pumpkin is very, very hard to do. It is not an easy task. And one of the animals, though, that the Zulu were afraid of was the rhino. And the rhino weighs over 1,000 pounds and can run at 30 miles an hour. So I don't blame them from being afraid of the rhino. And then also, before Shaka Zulu came to power, warfare was largely civilized. A lot of the warfare was more about custom than actually dominating the other tribe or to have victory over the other tribe. But Shaka Zulu changed that. Like, he largely did away with the throwing spear, and he had a sword. He developed a sword where the Zulu warrior would have a shield made of cowhide in one hand and a sword in the other, and the sword was called an ikwa. And the reason it was called an ikwa is because when you stab somebody, they go, and then you pull it out, they go, ikwa. And that was a dominant weapon with the Zulu tribe under Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu helped make that the dominant weapon. And he said the purpose of warfare is to defeat the opponent, not for the customs and the traditions and things of that nature. So Shaka Zulu did that, and then where Shaka Zulu, he did not live to see the Battle of Isandlwana that happened on January 22nd, 1879. And the reason he was not did not live to see that battle is because earlier his half brothers overthrew him and they killed Shaka Zulu. And Shaka Zulu made a dangerous prediction. He made a dangerous prediction saying that the Zulu nation would fall under the oppression of Caucasian people. And when he died, and that's what happened. Even though the Zulu won the Battle of Isandlwana, and they won it very single-handedly, they won it. They were dominant in that battle. But at the same time, the Zulu did lose the Anglo-Zulu War, and the British got control of the diamonds in the eastern section of South Africa. And this is not a bash at the British either, because before the British came to that area, the Ndwandwe and the Mthethwa tribes were at war with one another. And then when Shaka Zulu expanded the Zulu kingdom subjugated both kingdoms, mostly the Ndwandwe tribe. And Shaka Zulu declared war on them. So, anyways, Shaka Zulu was killed by his half-brothers, and the reason he was killed by his half-brothers was because when Shaka Zulu's mother died, that left a really big scar on his brain and on his emotions, and he largely started ruling the Zulu nation more with an iron fist. He started not allowing any form of criticism, stamping out and killing or arresting any political opponents. And one day he was walking near a fence, but it was a fence that wasn't completely secure, and it had some gaps in it, and his half-brothers stuck the Ikwa through the fence and stabbed him. And that's what happened. So, like I said, what the British did in that area is nothing to brag about, and it was horrible, and it shouldn't be excused, but there was a lot of war and tension and conflict before the British got there. And it doesn't justify what the British did to the Zulu by any stretch of the imagination. But at the same time, it does note that there is conflict and war between different ethnic groups, between different tribes, between different races, sometimes between the same race. That conflict and belief that your culture is far superior to others in every way, shape, and form is inherently evil in all ways, shape, and form. That it's a problem with every race, it's a problem with every color, every nationality. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video on Zulu Nation. And Shaka Zulu did a lot to revive warfare, and that's the reason the Zulu won the Battle of Isandlwana. And the Zulu shouldn't have had to give up their culture because the British wanted the Zulu to. And the king of the Zulu Nation at the time was Katawano, and the British asked him to, and the king said no, and that's why the Battle of Isandlwana basically happened. And plus, the British wanted unrestricted access to the diamonds in that area, and even though the Zulu were not using them, the Zulu said no on that. They were untapped before the British got there, and I have to note that. The reason that I'm noting all this is because this is not a hate message towards Zulu or towards somebody who's British, towards somebody who's African or Caucasian. We're all God's children. So we need to know. And it's an interesting story. The Isakila was an effective weapon in hunting. And the Ikwa was an effective method in warfare. Particularly, it was an effective method in warfare when the Zulu fought the Ndwandwe tribe. And also, it was an effective method that it allowed the Zulu to hang on and fight the British as long as they did, because the British had the Martin Henry rifle. And the Martin Henry rifle was a very, very effective weapon. It could fire many rounds in 1 second. And the way the bullet could blow off an arm. Like if it missed your heart and chest area, if it hit an arm, it didn't just wound the arm. It didn't break the arm. It blew off the arm. That's how effective of a weapon the British had during the Anglo-Zulu War. But the Zulu were able to hang with the British for a long time, using only a few rifles, mostly using the Ikwa and cowhide shields. Other than that, wearing very little armor. So, anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Take care. God bless and bye-bye. Bye-bye.